ओम ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
ओम ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
मूर्ति भेद विभागिने
मूर्ति भेद विभागिने
व्योमवत् व्याप्त देहाय
व्योमवद्व्याप्तेहाय
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
वन्दे
गुरुपरम्पराम्।
ॐ सहना भवतु।
सहना
भवतु
सहनौ भुनक्तु।
सहनौ भुनक्तु
सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै।
शङ्करवावहै
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं।
पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणी भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवत् गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
अनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः।
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः।
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः।
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति
यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः।
यस्यान्नविदुसुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
You just chant after me. सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्ति समन्विते
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे
शक्ति
समन्विते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते
यस्याहि नो देवी
दुर्गे
देवी
नमोस्तुते।
रोगान् शेषान् पहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान्
गानशेषान्नपगंसि
त्वामाश्रितान्नान्न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्यश्रयतां प्रयान्ति सर्वा बाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम् सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्ति समन्विते भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी
रोगान् शेषान् पहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातु कामान् सकलान् अभीष्टान् त्वामाश्रितान्नान्न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्यश्रयतां प्रयान्ति सर्वा बाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम् सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्ति समन्विते भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते रोगान् शेषान् पहंसि तुष्टारुष्टातु कामान् सकलान् अभीष्टान् त्वामाश्रितान्नान्न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्यश्रयतां प्रयान्ति
आश्रयतां प्रयान्ति
प्रयान्ति
सर्वा बाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
प्रशमनं
त्रिलोक्यास्य
यस्याखिलेश्वरी
अखिलेश्वरी
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
एवमेव
त्वया
कार्यम्
कार्यम्
मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
साङ्ख्ययोगो पृथक् बालाः
साङ्ख्ययोगो
बालाः
प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः
वदन्ति पण्डिताः
एकमप्यास्थितः सम्यक्
सम्यग्
उभयोर्विन्दते फलम्
विन्दते फलम्
यत्साङ्ख्ये प्राप्यते स्थानम् तद्योगैरपि गम्यते
योगैरपि गम्यते
एकं साङ्ख्यं च योगं च
एकं साङ्ख्यं च योगं च
यः पश्यति स पश्यति
यः पश्यति
पश्यति
सन्न्यासस्तु महाबाहो
अहो
दुःखमाप्तुमयो गतः
दुःखमाप्तुमयोगतः
योगयुक्तो मुनिर्ब्रह्म
योगयुक्तो
न चिरेणाधिगच्छति
न
चिरेणाधिगच्छति
योगयुक्तो विशुद्धात्मा
योगयुक्तो
विशुद्धात्मा
विजितात्मा जितेन्द्रियः
विजितात्मा
आत्मा जितेन्द्रियः
सर्वभूतात्मभूतात्मा
सर्वभूतात्मा
कुर्वन्नपि न लिप्यते
कुर्वन्नपि न लिप्यते
In fifth chapter, there is a discussion between karma yoga, karma sannyasa, and both karma yoga is also called a lifestyle to achieve one's own nature, that is called moksha. So to achieve moksha, Bhagavan has prescribed two lifestyle. One is called karma yoga and another is called karma sannyasa or sannyasa. Let me write here sannyasa. This is only lifestyle. Through this lifestyle, one can know one's own nature. It's called moksha. And another name of moksha is called sarva karma sannyasa that we have seen last week. Sarva karma sannyasa. And Arjuna would like to take sannyasa. Arjuna would like to take sannyasa for the sake of moksha. That's why generally the beginning of each chapter starts with Arjuna's question in different way. Which one is better? Karma yoga is better or sannyasa is better? If sannyasa is better, then why you are asking me to fight? A different type of question, but he always likes sannyasa. And why he likes sannyasa? Because he knows in sannyasa there is no responsibility, there is a given up all duties, and he doesn't like this duty of fighting. That's why he would like to give up this lifestyle of grihastha. But Bhagavan says, even through karma yoga also, person can get moksha. Even through sannyasa also, person can get moksha. Both lifestyle has to go through antakaran shuddhi, focus of mind, shravan manana, nididhyasana. And even sannyasi also, he or she needs chitta shuddhi, focus of mind through upasana, and then shravana manana nididhyasana. This is common in both lifestyle. Only karma yoga is gruhasti, while sannyasa has given up all duties. That's why when Arjuna asks question, which one is better, then I can follow only one. Then Bhagavan says in previous second verse, sannyasa karma yoga, even another name moksha is nishreyas. Sarva karma sannyasa, even moksha, and third name also, nishreyas. Same meaning is called self-knowledge, atma jnana. Bhagavan says, sannyasa, karma yoga, both can give nishreyas, both can give atma jnana. But if we compared karma sannyasa and karma yoga, then karma sannyasat, karma yoga is nishishyate. Compared to sannyasa, karma yoga is better. And in third verse, Bhagavan has qualified sannyasi. Bhagavan says, who is sannyasi? Bhagavan says, na dveshti, na kankshati. Jneyaha sanitya sannyasi. That person is considered ever renunciate, one who doesn't hatred to anyone and one who doesn't have any long for. And nirdvandvaha, one who comes out from the pairs of opposite, that person sukham bandhat pramuchyate. That person is released from bondage very easily. Sukham means very easily. In third verse, Bhagavan says. In fourth, Bhagavan says, a childish people is called balaha pravadanti. Balaha means a people whose thinking is like childish. So balaha pravadanti. And what such childish people talk? They say Sankhya and Yoga are pruthak. Sankhya means sannyasa lifestyle is different, and Yoga means karma yoga is different, and different for which sake. So only Sankhya can give moksha, not yoga can give. That's why both are different. Balaha pravadanti. They say, childish people say, Sankhya means sannyasa lifestyle and karma yoga lifestyle is different for the achieving the goal of moksha. But panditaha na pravadanti. One who is wise people, they never talk about like this, because ekam api asthita samyak. Ekam, you follow one lifestyle. Ekam means either you can follow Sankhya or you can follow Karma Yoga. It's called ekam api. Even one lifestyle, samyak asthita. If one person follow properly, then that person upayoho phalam vindate. That person will get a result of both lifestyle. And why Bhagavan says both lifestyle? Because either you follow Karma Yoga or you follow Karma Sannyasa, both will give same result, and this is called moksha. That's why Bhagavan says, Upayoho, both will give, they will, one follow any lifestyle properly, then that person will get result of both lifestyle. Same Bhagavan is told in 5th verse also that we have seen, Yat Sankhye Prapyate Sthanam. A sannyasa achieved the sthanam means moksha. A moksha is achieved by sannyasa. That moksha also yogehi apigamyate. That moksha is also gained by karma yogis. Ekam sankyam yogancha. Ekam sankyam eka yogamcha. Both sannyasa lifestyle and karma yoga lifestyle, both are one and same. For getting same goal of moksha. Yaha pashyati, one who sees like, understand like this, saha pashyati. That person knows. Pashyati means here understand. In 6th verse, Bhagavan says, Sanyasastu mahabaho dukkham aptum ayogatah. Again, hey mahabaho means, oh mighty arms. Just what we have, who have attended previous class, just in my mind is came Gudadasaha. Like Gudakeshaha means one who has conquered once on sleep. Dasaha means one who is a servant of Gudaka. I don't know whether it's correct or not, but this word came in my mind. Gudadasa. In 6th verse, Bhagavan says, Hey Mahabaho means, oh my mighty arms. Ayogataha. Here, last word is Ayogataha. One who is not prepared with mind. For such person, Sannyasaha, life of sannyasi, it gives dukkham. It give pain. Better yoga yukta. The meaning of yoga yukta means a person who lives a life of yoga, one who is given to life of karma yoga, yoga yukta. And this yoga yukta is also called muni, one who has mind to can sit for contemplation is called muni. Mananat munihi, such person brahma adhigacchati. That karma yogi also can know adhigacchati, can achieve, can know brahma. The meaning of brahma means consciousness, one who knows what is brahma. That nachirena, without taking more time, that person can know. Here chira means long time, nachira means it is not long time. But the meaning is it depends on the preparedness of mind of each and every person. So that can know, understood Brahma very well. And one who knows Brahma, that person know Aham Brahmasmi, I am not separate from that consciousness. And last, we have seen Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma, Vijitatma, Jitendriyaha, Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma, Urvannapi na lipyate. Again, Bhagavan is praising Yoga Yuktaha, that we have seen. Yoga Yuktaha Vishuddhatma. Yoga Yuktaha means one who is given a lifestyle of Karma Yoga. Vishuddhatma. The meaning of Atma here is Antakaran. So one who is Vishuddhatma, one who is purified mind, one who has gone Antakaran Shuddhi, Vijitatma. Here Shankaracharya has written the meaning of Atma means body. Vijitatma means one who has conquered, one who is won over one's own body. Here the Atma considered as a organs of action, Karmendriya. And Jitendriya means one who is a master of one's own sense organs, senses. These all are adjective of a person. Yoga Yuktaha, Vishuddhatma, Vijitatmaha, Vijitatma, Jitendriha. Such person is undergo Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, who studied properly under the guidance of teacher, then karma phala will come, and that person is called Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. Having gained self-knowledge. After gained self-knowledge, what would be the mind of that person is called Sarva Bhuta Bhutatma. The meaning is Sarva Bhut means all being. Atma means Atma, Bhutatma. The meaning is one who knows I am a self is the Atma of all being. So every beings are not separate from me. That vision is called Sarva Bhuta Bhutatma. One who knows I am self of all being. Like if last time I told the story, suppose that nose ring says, I am pervading all in all ornaments as a form of gold, same way Jnani can tell in the form of consciousness, and my real nature is consciousness, and in the form of consciousness, I am available in all beings are called Sarva Bhuta Bhutatma, and this another name according to our Shankaracharya, it's called Sarvatma Bhava. I am Atma of all beings. Sarvatma Bhava. One who knows I am all. No, nobody is separate from me is called Sarvatma Bhava. Such person, he doesn't take any renunciation. Still, he keep on working, but that action doesn't bind them. It's called Kurvan Api Na Lipyate. Kurvan Api is a still he's doing all karma is called Kurvan. While doing Api, even though Na Lipyate, it is not affected by even result of karma, even action of karma. That we have seen. The meaning of Yoga Yukta means one who has lived a life of Karma Yoga, and this lifestyle gives Chitta Shuddhi or Antakaran Shuddhi because of Karma Yoga, they have neutralized their own Ragadvesha. And this less Ragadvesha leads person to Antakaran Shuddhi. What is the meaning of Vishuddhatma? The Atma means one who is comes out from the spell of Raga Dvesha, that person's mind. So here the meaning of Atma is mind. It's good. Chitta Shuddhi, Vijitatma. The meaning is Atma here is physical body, and body is always connected to organs of action. So Vijitatma means one who is the master of one's own karmendriya. And last is Jitendriya. Jitendriya means one who is a master of one's own senses is called Jitendriya. Such person undergo through Shravan, Mananam and Nididhyasanam. After properly listening, reasoning and contemplating, that person having assimilated knowledge is called Sarva Bhuta Bhutatma. It is not easy. Bhagavan has put all 4 words together, 5 words, but Sarva Bhuta Bhutatma will come very later. After going through all Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, and that person knows oneself, I am all beings. It's called Sarva Bhuta Bhutatma. And Kurvan Api Na Lipyate. Kurvan Api Na Lipyate. Even while doing, that person is not tainted or not affected. And I have quoted why that person is not affected, because that person consider oneself is akarta. I am not doer. It's called akarta. And if I am akarta, so I must be abhokta also. I am not enjoyer of all my result of action. It's called abhokta. That's why Kurvan Api Na Lipyate. Like in dream, a person is doing many activity, but when that person wakes up, So what person has done inside the dream, na lipyate. If they has done more very good charity, punyam what come when that person awakes? And if that person commits some stealing, that papa doesn't come in waking state. Same way, this person knows this vyahvarik jagata, this waking state also as good as dream. It is not real. That's why Purvan api na lipyate. And now 8th and 9th verse is together. Neva kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavit pashyan shrunvan sprushan jigran ashnan gachan swapan shwasan pralapan visrujan grunhan unmishan nimishan napi indriyani indriyartheshu vartanta iti dharayan. So Shankaracharya is written in Bhashyam, Paramarthatah asau gnani paramarthatah na karoti. This jnani, in reality, he or she doesn't do anything. For that sake, Bhagavan has given 2 shloka. The meaning is, Neva kinchit karomi iti. Yuktaha, 1, and second is tattvavit, is manyet. 1 yuktaha, again the meaning of yuktaha means samahitaha, what we have discussed. A person having gone through proper karma yoga, a person has gone through proper upasana yoga, and a person has gone through shravan, manan, and nididhyasana, properly everything. Then that person is called yuktaha. One who has assimilated not only jnanam, but proper attitude towards whole world is called yukta. When any situation comes, that person doesn't move, it's called yukta. And tattvavit. And why that person is yukta? So another qualification, tattvavit. Tattvam vetti, tattvam janati, it's called tattvavit. Vit means knows, one who knows the truth is called tattvavit. Tattva means truth. Vit means janati. So being atmagyani and being yuktaha, that person knows na eva kinchit karomi, I don't do anything. Kinchit means anything. Na is na karomi, I don't do anything. Who thinks yuktaha tattvavittaha? He thinks I don't do anything. And which type of activity that person can do, then Bhagavan has given a list of activity. Pashyan, to see, Shrunvan, to hear, Sprushan, to touch, Jigran, to smell. Here Ashnan is there. Ashnan, to eat, Gachan, going. Everything is present tense. When unkam kurvan, same Pashyan. Gachan, Swapan, means sleeping. Shvasan, meaning is breathing. Pralapan, speaking, to speak is called pralapa. Visrujan, to release. Grunhan means to grasping. Unmishan, opening the eyes. Nimishan, closing the eyes. This Bhagavan has just given different type of activity. He just quoted, and Bhagavan says many activities. This is only model, but Bhagavan says, in spite of doing all activities, what person thinks? Indriyani, indriya artheshu vartante. Here vartante. All senses are engaged. Vartante means are engaged in their all fields. Artha means all vishaya. Iti dharayan, having known this thing. Dharan also knowing. Then it will come, such person, he thinks, Neva kinchit karomi, in spite of doing all type of activity, but I know I am not doing anything. Whenever in Sanskrit grammar, just for Pashyan is called seeing. Like we say is a present continuous tense in English. Same way in Sanskritam is they write like Pashyan. Suppose we say Drishtaha is a past passive participle of same drush dhatu. The meaning of drishtaha means seen, while Pashyan means seeing. This is the difference. So when all nana comes, the meaning is activity is going on, is a continuous. So Bhagavan says, Yuktaha Tattvavit. The meaning of Yuktaha, what I have said, one who is together, one whose mind. Even just now I click, there is a one word is called Arjo. You might have heard in 13th chapter, Amanitvam Adambitvam Ahimsa Kshantirarjavam. There is a one word is called Arjava. The meaning of Arjava is there. The meaning of Arjava means alignment of thinking, speaking, and action. What we think, so we speak. What we speak, so we perform. It's called Arjava. It's called alignment of thinking, speaking, and what we are performing. Such person is called Yuktaha. There is no difference. Sometimes people speak something, but in mind is something different. Sometimes we speak something and we do something else. It's called not Yuktaha. Yuktaha means Samahita. What we think, speak, everything is in one alignment. It's called Yuktaha. Tattvavit means Atmagyani, one who knows the truth. Such person, then different type, Pashyan, Shrunvan, Sprushan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Shwasan, Pralapan, Visrujan, Grunhan, Unmishan, Nimishan. All are different type of activities. Some are voluntary, some are involuntary, some are both. We keep on doing different type of activity, but what Gnani thinks, Bhagavan says, Gnani thinks is Indriyani Indriyartheshu Vartante iti is under quotation. All senses are engaged in their own field. Suppose the field of eye is different color and forms. The field of ear is different type of words. Same way, all other three. Dharayan, having known, that person knows, kinchit eva karomi iti na manye. That person thinks, I don't do anything, iti na man. Kinchit eva karomi, we can put also na manye. I am doing anything, that person doesn't think like this. That all activities are going on, I am not involved. Shankaracharya has written that Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma Kurvan Api Na Lipyate. That line of previous 7th verse is still continuous. That's why Bhagavan says, one who knows oneself is a self of all beings, is still continuous. Here describe such person while doing also not affected by action or results. If somebody says why, the answer is they never consider oneself as a karta, or in English it's a doer. Everything is just going on, it's just happening, I am not involved. And then Bhagavan has list of all this Persian, Shroman, Sprushan, Jignan, grasping, Unmishan, Nimishan, Api. So here it is written, Shankaracharya ji, action may be voluntary or may be involuntary, and may be both. But still, that person knows this is only samples of activity. We know we are doing many activities, but such person knows I am not doing anything. Suppose pralapan, to talking. Even person may talk, like Puja Swamiji can give talk. but Swamiji knows I am just giving. I am not affected. I don't know anybody has come for Shatabhishekam of Puja Swamiji. I don't know. But if you have come, you have noticed it was a 7 days program. Shatabhishekam of Puja Swamiji, I think in 2012 or 13. I'm not sure, but maybe 12, 13. So they offered gold coins to Puja Swamiji in Ashtottara. There are many activities. They just keep on praising Puja Swamiji for 7 days and perform different type of art, dance, many things was there. But last Puja Swamiji has to speak, no? Then what Puja Swamiji spoke, it was just beautiful. He said, then everybody was praising me. At that time, I told the Lord Ishvara, I said to Ishvara, my antakaran is like a holy pipe. What he said, my mind is a holy pipe. There is nothing inside, like means empty. My mind is like an empty pipe, nothing inside, no raga and no dvesha. Whatever praise come to me for 7 days, I have just offered to you, because all praises are not belongs to me. Everything belongs to you. So I am offering Lord Dakshinamurti all my praises. It says, Naiva Kinchit Karomi. This is the beautiful example of Puja Swamiji. He says, in spite of he has done lots of activity, even many things he has done for all mankind, and for seva, many things, but he says, lastly, I have offered what I have done to Lord Dakshinamurti, because there is no impurity in this mind. Everything is gone to Ishvara. This is nothing belongs to me. It's called Neva Kenchit Karomi. So in previous verse, I have just written here, in previous verse, Bhagwan has written Yoga Yuktatma. Here, in this verse, is written Yuktatma. In Shankaracharya is written the word Samahitaha. The meaning of Samahitaha means one who is together. And that meaning is Arjava. If somebody has written Ramakrishna Mission, I think Ramakrishna Paramahan's Kathamrita, in that one episode has come, if somebody has memorized. Somebody asked Ramakrishna Paramahansa, can you come to my house? Then Ramakrishna Paramahansa said, yes. And he said, I will come and I will take you to my home. Please you come. And Ramakrishna Paramahansa says, yes, I will come. But somehow that person didn't show up next day. He didn't come to take Ramakrishna Paramahansa to his home. Swamiji, Ramakrishna Paramahansa was waiting, but when he did come up, then he asked Hriday. Hriday was his nephew. He said to nephew, let's go to that person's home. We won't go inside. We just touch that entrance and then we will come back. Why? He says, I have promised yesterday, I will come to your place. He did come, but I have to go, no? That's why he went and just touched to his entrance and they both came back. It's called Arjava because he said yes. So what I have said yes, then if I don't follow, then I cannot consider it as Samahita. It's called Samahita, Yuktatma. And in previous verse, Bhagwan has used Sarva Bhuta Bhutatma. That means he is Atma of all beings. And here, Bhagwan, in previous verse, and here Bhagwan has used Tattvavit. Both are one and same. One who knows the truth, only that person see oneself in all beings. So the meaning of one and same, either we say Sarva Bhuta Bhutatma or Tattvavit. Such person, in spite of doing all activity, he doesn't do anything or she doesn't do. That's why he says, Yuktaha Tattvavit means general is written is a wise person, Jnani person, Indriyani Indriyartheshu. They think senses and organs of action, they are engaged in their objects. Whatever their Vishaya, Vartante, they are engaged. Thus, in this way, iti dharayan, knowing in this way, kinchit na karomi, I am not doing anything, iti manyet, that person thinks like this, I am not doing anything, just it's keep on going, I am not involved in anything. Up to 9th verse, Bhagavan has described Jnanis, what Gnani can do. Again, Bhagavan has come back to Karma Yoga because Bhagavan loves Karma Yoga compared to Sannyasa. So before this 10th verse, Bhagavan Bhashyakara has written one line. This is the Bhashyam line of Gita. Shankaracharya ji says, Yaha, a person, Punaha, again, Atatvavit. Still, this person is not yet Gnani. A person yet doesn't gain self-knowledge. Still, Karma Yoge cha pravruttaha. Still, he is engaged, performing in Karma Yoga. For such person, this 10th verse is dedicated. Tu means whereas. When tu comes in Sanskritam, there is a comparative. What Gnani does and what Agnani does. That Agnani means Karma Yogi, Gnani means one who knows. So this is not Tattvavit, but this is Atattvavit. What such person does, when Bhagavan says, Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyatena sa papena padmapatramivambasa. Here the meaning is Brahmani adhaya. Brahmanya means here Brahmani adhaya, offered. Brahmani means Ishware, adhaya means offered, karmani. All karma as offered to Ishvara, sangam tyaktva, having given up all attachment, yaha karmani karoti. Actually, main sentence is yaha, a person, karmani karoti. He performs actions. But how that person performs action, Bhagavan says, with two attitudes. First one is Brahmani adhaya, having offered to Ishvara, and another is Sangam Tyaktva, having doesn't have any attachment, given up the attachment, Yaha Karoti, such person, Lipyate, Saha Papena na Lipyate. That person doesn't affected by Papa, with sin, like what? Padmapatram Iva Ambasa, like a leaf of lotus remains inside the water, but water cannot touch the leaf of lotus. Same way, a person who is performing different type of activity, but with this attitude, I am doing for Ishvara and without having any type of attachment. In spite of doing, that person doesn't get any papa. Lipyate na saha pape na lipyate. Here Brahman is Ishvara, not that Nirgunam, Nirakaram Brahma. Always in Brahma Sutra also, Brahma is used by even Shankaracharya frequently. But when we say that I am performing karma and I am offering to Brahma, then if we think Brahma is Nirgunam Nirakara Ekaha, there is a no need to offering, because he is one. Then our offering karma will go. So when here Brahma means Sagunam Brahma, and Sagunam Brahma means Ishvara. Another name of Ishvara is Sagunam Brahma. But here need not to write every time this is Sagunam Nirgunam. We have to find the context. So here the meaning of Brahmani means Ishvara. So the Anvaya is Yaha, a person, Sangam Tyaktva, having given up attachment, Brahmani Adhaya, having offered to Ishvara karmani karoti, performs different type of action, that person papena na lipyate. That person is not affected by any papa. An example is Padmapatra Ivambasa. Like lotus, a leaf of lotus doesn't affect by water. Ambas is a 3/1. The explanation is given beautifully in Shankar Bhashyam, Brahmani Adhaya Karmani. Translation in Bhashyam is written, Ishvare Nikshipya Tadartham Karomi. What is the meaning of Brahmani Adhaya Karmani? The Ishvare, unto Ishvara Nikshipya means offered, and Tadartham, what Ishvara only, for the sake of Ishvara. Tat means that Ishvara, Artham means sake. For the sake of Ishvara, Karomi, one who performs. I do. Karomi means I do. So they say, how can we offer? It's written in Puja Swami's Gita home study also. We can offer flower to Ishvara. We can offer Naivedyam to Ishvara. But every time, how can we offer? One by one karma, I am offering to you, I am offering to. What? How can we offer? So beautifully, Puja Swamiji has given in his. He says, Ishvara is available in order of dharma. Everybody knows Puja Swami this order. So Swamiji has written, he is available in order of dharma. And what is Ishvara? So Ishvara is a material cause of Jagat, and he is also efficient cause of Jagat. So whatever available here is nothing but Ishvara only. So such Ishvara can also manifest in the order of dharma. And now if we ask, what are the dharmas? Then it says there are two types of dharma. One is called Samanya Dharma and another is called Vishesha Dharma. For Grihastha, what is the Samanya Dharma which can applicable to each and every human being is called Samanya Dharma. And the meaning of Samanya Dharma's definition is given in Sanskritam, Svatmani Pratikulani Anyesham Na Acharet. Meaning is, whatever is not comfortable to us, that we should not do for others. If somebody hurting us, if we don't like, so we should not hurt others. If somebody is stealing something from us, anything, so we should not steal. So all what we don't like, we should not do to others. It's called Samanya Dharma, according to Puja, universal Dharma. Then what is the Vishesha Dharma? So the meaning of Vishesh Dharma, and particularly for Karma Yogis, in given situation, they have to play a role different. So in front of father, we have to play a role of son. In front of son, the person has to play a role of father. In front of wife, that person has to perform a role of husband. There are many. So every role has their own script, and every script is called Vishesha Dharma. This is called Vishesha Dharma. The role we are playing in our family also, in outside of the family also. And this Vishesha Dharma also governed by Samanya Dharma. So if we don't like, we should not act to others. This, with keeping this Samanya Dharma, one has to perform. This Vishesha Dharma is their own duties. And when we know what we are doing, both dharmas, even Vishesha Dharma and Samanya Dharma, both is Ishvara only. If we know Ishvara is all pervading and he is manifested in the form of whole Jagat, then dharmas are nothing but Ishvara only. And having known this, so both Vishesha Dharma and Samanya Dharma, both are Ishwar. And when we have this understanding, And after having this understanding, when we follow dharma with proper attitude, is called Brahmani Adaya Karman. The meaning of every time we cannot offer each and every karma, but whatever our Vishesha Dharma, whatever we have to perform Samanya Dharma, if we follow properly, it's called Brahmani Adaya. We are offering all karma to Ishvara only. In same thing Bhagavan has told in 18th chapter. This is always very well famous. Yata pravrittihi bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam. Yataha means because of which cause. Pravrittihi bhutanam, all beings are engaged in their own activities. Yena ishwarena sarvamidam tatam, because of which Ishvara whole jagat is vyaptam. The meaning of tatam means all pervading, is pervading. Ishvara is not sitting anywhere else, but he is tatam, he is vyaptam, he is all pervading. So swakarmana tam abhyarchya. Ishvara is available in orders. Ishvara is available in forms of Vishesha Dharma, Samanya Dharma. That way, tam abhyarcha. By one's own karma, tam Ishwaram karma abhyarcha. I am offering, I am offering each and every my activity to Ishvara, then what will happen? Bhagavan says, Manavaha siddhim vindati. That person will get siddhi. And what is the meaning of siddhi here? Antakaran shuddhi. There is a no more siddhi compared to this siddhi. We can have anima, lagima, garima, but our mind is not pure, then what is the use of these siddhis? So in this Bhashyam also, 18th verse, the biggest siddhi in one's life is if our mind is out of ragadvesha. And without those, we are not under the spell of ragadvesha, is called siddhi. And when it will come, if we know Ishvara is nothing but whole jagat. That's why there are many persons says that I don't like to perform karma yoga. I am simple devotee only. But really speaking, there is no difference between karma yogi and devotee. Karma yogi only can become devotee because karma yogi knows where is Ishvara, what is Ishvara, and how can Ishvara gives the result. Without knowing Ishvara, how one can become a devotee? So there is different. Karma yoga is different and bhakti yoga is different. But really speaking, both are one and same. When karma yogi knows only Ishvara is all pervading, whatever I am doing is nothing but only for Ishvara, such karma yogi is called devotee of Ishvara. So this confusion, karma yoga is different and bhakti yoga is different, is not like that. Whatever activity we are doing for Ishvara is called karma yoga. Ishwaram tam abhyarchya pujayitva. In Bhagavan, it says, such person, karma yogi is equal to devotee if such person performs a karma in the awareness of Ishvara, even as a mandate, like he is my Swami, is my Lord, and I am his dasa, his servant, but still it is in the form of dharma. Ishvara is my master and I am his servant. Even in this, we having kept this idea in our mind, still we follow dharma, then this is also called Ishvara Dharma Abhyarcha. Both are, even understanding Ishvara and I am a dasa of Ishvara, both are not separate from Ishvara. Only such person is called devotee. So devotee is a very highly valuable word. Is bhakta. Sometimes I am bhakta, but really bhakta is one who knows what is Ishvara. That's why I have written, only devotee can become karma yogi, none other says, because one who knows what is Ishvara. Therefore, Karma yoga is not separate from bhakti yoga. Both are one and same. Karma yoga and bhakti yoga is another name of karma yoga is bhakti yoga. Because bhakti is not any karma. Bhakti is only attitude. Bhakti is only our love towards Ishvara. It's called bhakti. And if we does each and every karma with proper love, then it's called bhakti yoga only. So here what we need is only attitude towards the karma and result of karma. But more, tomorrow we will see, is already 20. Any question?
Swamiji, so the way to offer is our actions to Ishvara is through our attitude?
Yeah, through attitude only. What I am doing, because I know everything is Ishvara. So what I am doing, my whatever duties, if I do properly, with proper attitude, then it's called bhakti only. Bhakti is not only sitting inside the puja room and doing japa only.
Swamiji, I have a question. You said whatever we don't like in life, we should not do it to others. Like, for example, hurting other people.
Yeah.
If others hurt you, how could we handle it?
I have told the story, many times. Once Bhagavan Buddha with all their shishyas, he is going from one village to another village. Then they approach another village. One person has come. He's just standing in front of Buddha and he starts telling a different bad names to Buddha. He keep on telling and telling. He start insulting to Lord Buddha, and Buddha stands keep quiet. He didn't react. So he tired, after telling many insulting. Then that person was tired. Then Buddha asked, now your whatever you would like to tell is over. If Buddha asked, Bhagavan Buddha, Lord Buddha has asked to that person, now your work, what you are telling is now finished. Now can I go? Then what that person can reply? So if another person insult us, it is depend on us how much we have to take from that person, from words. If somebody says you are foolish, but why should we consider our thing as a foolish? Anything. They can do anything, but it only depends on
time to.
Yeah, it takes time. Yeah, it takes time.
It's not that easy.
That's true. But this is only
Any other way to handle this, like forgive and go, something like that? How
Yeah,
could we do that?
No shortcut.
No shakti.
Shortcuts don't work.
we cannot forgive. Then forgive come, no? Actually, we have to accommodate that person in our mind. If they are insulting us, we can say whatever is that person brought up, that person's thinking may be different from us. We should not expect for that person what we are expecting. Do them whatever that person do, but we should not disturb. Our remote control should be with us only.
Yeah. So by reacting, we are doing like giving our happiness to in others' hands.
Yeah.
So we should not do that. Okay. But
the solution is to keep doing more Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Because the only way out of this is to become a jnani and to know that you are Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma.
Long way to
Doesn't
go.
matter what anybody says.
Long way to go.
I mean, the way, the one way I think about it is that when I started learning mathematics when I was age 4 or 5, I could barely add 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2. But now, if I look back and say, oh my gosh, I can do all these mathematics, and I think it's just the same way, just patience and Shraddha and, following the teachings of the great Mahatmas and yeah.
So everything is interconnected. Like we have to learn how to be patient, more patient.
There are many autobiography of Mahatmas are available. When we read, then we can have some ideas how they deal with another person. We can take some ideas from there.
Willpower also we need to hold back.
Yeah.
Swami, that verse that you worked, all that voluntary and involuntary actions,
Yeah.
is I used to recollect what Puja Swamiji used to say. You know, he used to say, hearing takes place or talking takes place.
By
Then
meditating also.
So it's like you can't partially own something. You have to acknowledge
Yeah.
complete. It's amazing. He used to keep saying that in every meditation session. He used to say, you know, hearing takes place.
Yeah.
Mana.
Unvoluntary, just is coming. Yeah.
And also, I think that's an extension of the other aspect. Like, you can't be hearing all the time. You can't be talking all the time. Everything is a role, whether it's a physical action or a mental action or whatever, or an emotional action, or even relationship, like father, mother, whatever. In other words, that it's easy to kind of just say, I'm playing a role of a father or whatever, you know, because it makes sense. But even the physical actions we are doing, it's only a role.
Everything is role. Your right now speaking is also a role. Your listening is also a role of students.
So Swamiji, even an emotion that you may feel, like, okay, somebody said something to you and you feel upset at that point of time. But if you say that is fine, because this is my body, mind, sense complex. This is what I've been carrying all these janmas. So it will happen. But if you can then take a step back and say, okay, so fine, let that emotion run. As
Then
long
it's
as it's carried away by you.
Yeah.
But that contradicts the previous point, right? Like Buddha, what he did, just ignore whatever others say and just move on with your life. If we show emotions, that is also correct. It doesn't make sense to me, actually.
Actually, what I am telling, no, anybody feel like to insult us, then we never show we are insulted. This is the siddhi. We may feel insulted, but we never show to themselves that we are insulted. We feel insulted. Then we can go back and we have to remove what we feel insulted. We can, but we should not react.
React. Oh.
If we react, then they have victory. If we want to react, then this is our success.
Correct.
Right.
Recently, I read Swami.
That you use all the time at work and wherever you are, and you're told that the first thing that you do as a mature individual is that you don't react.
Yeah.
You only act. You be proactive and not reactive.
Actually, not even act. That's the highest state. But anyway, some time back, I read Swami Viditatmananda's notes, or at least some lecture I listened to. He said, it's all easy when you sit back and reflect. It appears easy.
Yeah.
But he said humans can only can think from an intellectual perspective, but they can only act on the emotional plane.
Yeah.
The action is always on the emotional plane, but that's where you need to be aware. Like then.
So you have to work towards increasing objectivity in your life.
Yeah, all of that is correct, but I think that that awareness is what you can be. Let you act, not act. That awareness gives you. I used to always, when Puja Swami Viditatmanandaji comes to our home every year. This year it won't happen. It seems. I used to watch him eat. It almost it will look like somebody else. He's watching himself eat all the time. It's just amazing. He's always watchful.
Goes back to one of the first things I've heard Swamiji say is about you being the actor and creating a space between yourself and the actor that you are, because you're playing a role. Everything is a role, and you have that space within you, so you don't get caught up in the act, basically.
That's the difficult part.
I have to say, every time I hear this, I come back to what Swamiji taught us. Prasanna Vadanam is moksha. That is one thing that captures it all. How to keep the Prasanna Vadanam is amazing. It's a
But that's the
homework.
result, though. That's the result. I mean, you're talking about
Correct.
sadhanas here.
Keep Prasanna inside.
But if you keep that sadhyam in front of you, maybe the sadhanam is easy.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, the vision always, needs to be there.
I never thought Prasanna Vadanam is moksha until I met Swaminiji.
This is from Puja Swamiji only. This is not from. When he he came to Ahmedabad, no, in last talk, then he was very sick, but he told, he announced.
Swaminiji, I haven't heard that one. Can you please repeat that?
What?
About the Prasanna Vadanam, what did he say?
He says in the last lecture, when he came last in Ahmedabad, he told two things. Always we say we have to keep our desires under our check. We should not desire much more. But he said in talk, we should have desires galore. You keep more and more desire. And again he says, what is the definition of moksha means? If you are ever cheerful in all situation, then you are moksha. You have moksha. Ever cheerful in every situation, either in happiness, unhappiness, whatever. If you keep your cheerfulness.
Actually, in the 20 years journey, and I have seen Swamiji over 20 years, I have seen also how he talked about moksha. In the sense, it's all the same. The teaching is the same, but he made it simpler and simpler and simpler and simpler as he went along.
No, Hemlataji, there is an explanation for that. Swamiji had a good joke once. He said people used to say, now your teaching is making sense. It actually is the student learning ability to know what he's saying. It's not Pujya Swamiji's teaching became simpler. It really shows that we have matured in the ability to understand. We took the time.
I found that Swamiji used to, even if it was a talk of just say an hour or even just 15 minutes, 10 minutes, he used to give the entire vision in that talk without referring to Shastra. It is general talk without referring to any concepts, any Sanskrit. He used to give the vision.
No, I think it's communication for excellence. And Shruti Mata was in his mind and tongue all the time. There is no effort.
Yeah. He used to come to Dubai and give 8-hour lectures, whole day retreat. Not a single piece of paper or anything. He will lecture for the whole day and he will finish at a point, we'll have a break. When he come back, we would have forgotten what he was talking about, but he will start from that exact word or the exact point. Amazing it is.
As usual, we delayed you, Swaminiji.
Yeah.
Shall we do Purnamada?
Yeah.
Om
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Svavasishyate Shantihi Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Thank you, Swaminiji.
Thank you,